So I broke down and I got the Grunge Revival Kit, and I was like, you know what? I gotta make a cast video on this one. I love it so much. It just like reminds me of those skater vibes, reminds me of like when I used to longboard, and it's just, it's giving very, very good memories for me. So today I decided to create a couple. It was very spur of the moment, and they're like so freaking cute. Anyway, you'll get to see his girlfriend in the next video, but I really was just like going for that pretty boy meets grunge, and I think I nailed it. I don't know, you guys tell me if I nailed it in the end, but as you can see, there's a lot of books in the background, and that's in honor of the Book Nook kit. And I think they were really just targeting me with these kits this time around. They were like, we're just gonna choose this millennial Z and a nerdy girl and figure out exactly what she wants, because I was definitely like hanging out in the library all throughout high school, all throughout middle school, and super emo grunge girl. So it speaks to me deep in my soul. And I think I've really decided on this light blonde hair color and these kind of like bluish green eyes. And now I'm just like, okay, now how do I make a face that would fit these features? And I feel like I always struggle with masculine features because I want them to look masculine, but I don't want them to look clownish. Like, I really like for my Sims to have very, I guess, realistic features, and having them have like a big nose or a big chin or big jawline, and like not just having really fine features makes it very realistic. But it's like finding a good balance is so difficult sometimes. So I was kind of struggling with that. And also there's this like indent on his nose that it just didn't seem very like flattering on him, and it didn't really fit his face. So I was kind of like figuring out, okay, how do I do this? Because I wanted him to have like a really almost like bird like nose, if that makes sense. But then I end up going with more of like a round button nose. It's coming together though. I was like trying to get inspiration to create him, and so I used this thing, what is it called? It's like an AI generator, like a text to image generator. And I was like, I think the prompt that I put in was like handsome man with grunge aesthetic, like in reading books in a book nook. And it did not look like this whatsoever. He had like dark brown hair, huge mustache, and like I was like, no, this isn't really the vibe I wanted. And so then I went on Pinterest and found a bunch of like very fitting samples, inspiration. So yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that you can find inspiration to create Sims. And it doesn't have to just be like Pinterest. It could be like AI generator, or who knows, maybe like finding things on Instagram or Tumblr. There's so many like I can think of right now. Like you can look at stock images, for example. Those can be really, really good if you want to have something that has a full environment. Like if you want to find a person inside of an environment doing a certain thing, stock images can be great inspiration. Let's see. You can also like look at artwork, which like that's kind of like duh, but there's a lot of different websites that you can find, like art galleries and stuff, that can really expose you to a different kind of feel or aesthetic than you're like usually looking at. Because Instagram feeds, Facebook feeds, and like Tumblr, those are all curated to your personal likes, and so they can kind of be monotonous, repetitive, and unoriginal after a time, because you're like only seeing the things that you've already liked and things that are suggested to you because you've liked something similar, instead of being shown something that you never would have thought of. So we've moved on to a lot of body details. I've added arm hair and leg hair and adding some tattoos right now just to like really give him that alt vibe. And I figure like, you know, he's not the type that's shaving his arms and legs. Like that's too much effort. I actually really like the body hair swatches on him because they're not too excessive. The hairs usually look really, really big on more contrasting body tones, and they can really seem like little worms on the skin instead of actual hairs. Oh, sorry, that's really gross, but that's kind of how it looks sometimes. So here I am again, adjusting his nose, because like I said earlier, I was really struggling with this part. I was like, I want it to be cohesive with his face. I want it to really fit his face. So a little more adjusting, and have added this black ring to all of his outfits. The whole story behind this black ring is that they have promise rings, him and his girlfriend do, and they're really romantic with each other, and their relationship is so freaking sweet, which is such a contrast to their harsh grunge style. That aesthetic is not like representative of their love life for sure. They're, you know, constantly saying sweet nothings to each other. That's how I imagine them to be. Very outwardly harsh and then inwardly soft. Nice little juxtaposition. Earlier in the video, I was like, oh, I want him to have like little pops of color, or like I want him to have like color in his outfits. So even if I'm doing like an all black outfit, like he's gonna have red shoes or like some sort of little pop of color in there. I feel like he's not really like the type who's like just monochrome. Like even in this outfit, he's got the black with the brown shorts. There's always a little hint of color in there just so that he's not too serious. I've also added gauges to all of his outfits because like it just doesn't make sense to me how, you know, he'll have gauges and then the other outfits like his ears aren't stretched. It just, how is that? It's not possible in reality, so I'm not gonna have that reflected in my game. I want him to have, oh my god, how many times am I gonna say continuity? Because that's like something I really focus on when I create a sim. I like to repeat their clothing items in different outfits to make it seem like, you know, they're grabbing that same t-shirt from their wardrobe. They don't have a different outfit for every single day. There's certain items that they really love and wear frequently, like jewelry. Most people don't have a different pair of glasses for every single day, especially if it's prescription glasses like what he has on. I mean, I know I only have one pair of prescription glasses, but I wear contacts most days. But yeah, it's good to have that continuity. And also like, since a lot of these sims that I make, I'll put more than one outfit per category, but for this sim specifically, since I wanted to keep it really focused on the grunge kit, I only made like one or max two outfits per category. Then, you know, they have plenty of opportunity to grow their wardrobe or grow their style. If I like decide to do gameplay with them in the future, or if you decide to download them off the gallery, then there's going to be plenty of opportunity for them to add more clothes to their wardrobe. And you know, you can just also mix and match the items that they already have on to create new outfit if they're what I imagine them to be. At least this couple is very minimalistic, yet they do have that grunge, which that aesthetic is a little bit maximalist. They find something that they like and then they wear it to the dust. It's gonna have holes in it before they toss it. And so I imagine they are not buying a ton of clothes because they're not replacing their clothes frequently. All that to say, mix and match the clothing to create new outfits. Every outfit doesn't have to be completely new, and it just like makes sure that they keep the same vibe, because sometimes I'll make a sim and then I'll create a bunch of different, like very different outfits for them, and then I look at them in one outfit and I look at them in another and I'm like, it's a completely new sim. I've just made two sims that have it's like an identical twin. What is this? Obviously, like, not everyone has a very cohesive not everyone has a wardrobe that's full of clothes that are only in their style. They might have like some stuff that was gifted to them from a family member, or you know, they're type of person who likes to shop frequently. Then they'll have a bunch of different styles in their wardrobe. or if they're like one of those style influencer fashionista types, they're gonna have different aesthetics for, you know, different vibes, different days. Okay, I'm rambling. Back to the sim. He's got his black and white outfit on that I just said I wasn't gonna do, but so I've renamed him Nathan Bliss, and his attributes, or like his traits, are loyal, socially awkward, and self-assured right now. I also gave him the Renaissance trait because I feel like he is at a point in his life where he's just trying to like become his best self, and you know, that's through skill building for him. So I've just gone through the outfits to figure out what his favorite colors are and make sure that all the outfits are like finalized and cohesive. Oh my god, I'm gonna say it so many times. And like trying to figure out what his music likes are, which would definitely be alternative. I added blues because, you know, I just feel like he's got a little soul in him. Some retro music, soul music, and those are his likes, but he also hates winter holiday music, apparently. He really likes cerebral sims, hardworking sims, funny sims, and like I was really considering like some of these other traits for like homebody sims, and I feel like that wouldn't really matter to him, but he did like idealist because his girlfriend is gonna be very creative, and he likes a lot of, you know, the usual topics like compliments, and doesn't like deception, like those types of things, very normal. But he also hates small talk, which I feel like is, it's something that you don't really think about. At least I don't. I wouldn't be like, oh, I hate small talk, because that's how you really get to know a person. He's just not into preppy fashion, and you know, he likes his rocker grunge vibes. In terms of his hobbies and skills, he's not a big fan of dancing or singing, but he likes some other activities like video games and snowboarding. I also think he's the type that likes fishing and fitness, and he also is really into like comedy, just enjoys it, you know. And obviously he's gonna have to like the shabby decor to match his grunge vibes and his wardrobe. But I also think he's not really a fan of the cutesy decor. Like, it's just not him.